I hope you're having a great start to your December 2019. I was recently asked to write an article for an over 50 women's magazine, and I wanted to share that story with you as well. This short story is entitled Decade Reflections. Here we go. I can remember as a child thinking that 50 was old. As I find myself halfway into the 50s, my view is very different. I've discovered that the 50s today is still very young and active. As a matter of fact, so are the 60s, 70s, and 80s. People are taking better care of themselves now, living longer, and enjoying life more. So what does 50 look like? They say it's the new 40s. Now that I'm halfway through, I tend to agree. I'm loving the 50s. As we close out 2019 and look at moving into a new decade, let's have a little fun and stroll back on each age decade and what we typically experience. When we turned 10, we celebrated being double digits and being a preteen. We don't know at this time as a female that this is the beginning of our hormones introducing themselves to us. Yikes! Periods, cycles. What is that, Mom? We can look back and laugh now, but at the time it was traumatic trying to learn what that means to us. In our 20s, we thought we had arrived. We were finally adults and wanted our parents to treat us as such. Remember? That is until the reality set in that with adulthood came responsibilities that our parents had handled up to this point. We had options. Figure out how to make it on our own, or run back home to our parents and let them continue to take care of us. In my generation, going back home wasn't an option. We had to figure it out. By the time we got to our 30s, most of us had started families and felt like we were coming into our stride in life. That's when we suddenly realized that we weren't adults in our 20s after all. We had reached it in our 30s. Most have careers at this point, paying off college loans, raising kids. When I turned 30, I look back at my 20s and ask myself if I wanted to have the same view when I look back at 40. The answer? No, emphatically no. Now here come the 40s. Is it your midlife crisis, or do you find yourself in a happy place? Did you find yourself starting your life over, either in a career or marriage? Did you find the sudden desire to run a marathon or start a new exercise regimen and take care of your body? Are your kids grown? Did you find yourself as an empty nester? Did you just start having children? We are told that these are the best years of our lives. Were they right? So what do the 50s hold? Do you find yourself looking for something new? Are you counting the days to retirement? Are you traveling more? Are you finding out who you are now that the kids are out of college and starting their own lives? Do you find yourself looking for new hobbies, a new line of work, or maybe you want to go back to school and further your education? My life has been a series of peaks and valleys, just like everyone. A few years ago, someone who watched me post on Facebook said, "I wish I had your life." One of my least favorite words in this world, and the most overused and most misunderstood, is perception. That person has no idea what I have been through in my life. I am a very positive person with great faith in my Creator. My whole life has been leading up to this moment when I get to write to hopefully inspire readers. God created me to turn positives into negatives. Some may say it's not realistic. Some may call it denial, but others may be inspired by my encouragement. God has laid a dream on my heart to spread His love to the nations and encourage the masses. I'm a full-time caregiver for my amazing husband who battles Parkinson's. So I asked God, how am I going to spread your love to the nations? And He responded to my spirit by saying, the World Wide Web. He's creating a vlogger in me. Who knew that in my 50s I would be spreading God's love to the nations, let alone me? If you are reading this article, you have made it to the glory years, the years of 50 and over. Don't waste another moment wondering, what if? What would my life be like if I had not made certain decisions? The reason you are still here is that God created you for a special purpose that only you can fulfill. You are a piece of God's big puzzle. Ask Him to reveal His purpose for you so that when your time is up, you can get to heaven and hear Him say, well done, my good and faithful servant. I hope you enjoyed that.